Shout out to all guys who are still here. If you have any videos you want me to respond to, just let me know either in my DMs or in the comment section, email, however you want. Anyway, we got a video today where we got a single mother, a single black mother who is standing on business. To her credit, or at the very least, she is talking the talk. Or, yeah, talking the talk, barking the bark. Well, I don't say that. Talking the talk when it comes to these YNs. These YNs who are basically giving her son shade at the very least because he refuses to conform to being a YN. Now, this individual, her name is Star Hardaway. Let me look down here. Star Hardaway. And yeah, so she made this a couple of weeks ago. And no, it doesn't help that you live in a place like Arkansas where all there is, outside of maybe the Northeast where Walmart is and the University of Arkansas, outside of that little piece, if you live in Little Rock or one of these podunk towns, what do you expect except YNs and maggots? M-A-G-A-T-S, maggots. What do you? Let's see what she has to say.
My son is 11 years old, and it is week 6 of school, and he is basically telling me that it's hard for him to make friends. His
Why is that?
exact words were 95% of the kids at school, or the boys at school, are YNs.
95%? Yeah. If they're 95% YNs, and I don't see a reason why your son would have to lie about that. Maybe he's being a bit hyperbolic. Maybe it's 91%. But when you have 95% YNs, maybe it's time to reconsider moving, unless you own your house. If you're a single mother, if you want to bet on that, I'm betting she's renting. So why are you where you are?
He said, and the other 5% that are nerds, most of them are rude.
Oh, let's talk about that. Because I remember growing up, and I remember the nerd culture. A lot of people want to call me a nerd. A lot of people want to call me a dork or whatever. In the words of Lee Corso, not so fast, my friends. Because I wouldn't consider myself a nerd in the traditional sense. Yeah, I watched comic book shows and movies, but I never read really comic books. Yes, I had video games, but most of them were mostly dude bro-esque first-person shooters like GoldenEye, Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, Halo, those kind of games. Yeah, I dabble into StarCraft, Minecraft, and Warcraft and all this. But to be honest, I was a bit more fairy than just being a nerd. And part of yes, I was in the anime too. Yeah, I was in the anime. Yeah, don't get me wrong. But that was because I liked Japanese culture as a whole. I was in one of these. Did you know what the in the year of 1361, who the fifth Hokage was? And I wasn't in the anime like that. I could not tell you who the Hokages were from first to recent. I could not tell you who was the first Super Saiyan in history. I couldn't tell you that. I couldn't. But the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of the nerds I grew up were also dicks. They were dicks, whether because they didn't know how to socialize or because they were cliquish. They were just as dickish as the popular kids. So let's just get that straight right there.
So if y'all are in my area, please talk to your kids, because
Oh,
for an 11-year-old to come home and tell me that most of your kids are YNs is crazy.
that's probably not going to be the best idea, and you probably won't have the best success with that because if you're dealing with a place where 95% of kids or Bebe's kids are YNs, then their parents are probably also single mothers, and a lot of them are probably daggles, strags, scraggle daggles, whatever you want to call them. So do you want to deal with that? Do you want to deal with some scraggle daggle, some strag, some daggle, coming up to you school and saying, girl, yeah, this big car, my heart, girl. At best, you're going to get all that talk. At worst, and if this catches on, And I'm not helping by uploading this video and putting it on social media. If this catches on, what are they going to say to your son? The YNs and the nerds for that matter. What are they going to say to your son? Anyway. I mean, yeah, she's standing up for her son. And a lot of people in the comment section, and a lot of people are acting disingenuous. They're talking about what's a YN? The nerds aren't probably rule. They more likely have no social skills. That's true. That's good too. Yeah, so... Yeah, maybe... Oh, here we go. So he has a problem with 100% of the kids. Maybe they aren't the problem. You're throwing it back to the kid. I've seen that play before. Yeah, get him in sports. That's a good strategy. What does YN mean? What does YN mean? As if you don't know, nerds are probably socially awkward. Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's probably because... Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, yeah. But you had some individuals who were cooking her. There was the Daggles. And let's see how she responds to them.
I just had to block so many people for basically trying to say my son is in the wrong for calling y'all kids YN. If it walks like a duck, quack like a duck, it's a duck. Don't be mad at me for my son using the word YN. It's YN. And the fact that y'all talking about he shouldn't be calling nobody YN.
All right. So before we go in, well, actually, let me go down to, yeah, there you go. So is she worth Popeyes? Or is she worth Chick-fil-A? Or is she worth... Why am I going off this tangent? I just saw the size E's on her, and I was like, should she be taking out the Applebee's? Should she have stepdaddy? I'm not going all the way, but I know some people in the community would be like, girl, look, your son needs a father, man. Look. I'm not saying I would do it, but I'm just saying, so some guys watching right now, I know how you are.
This is what they're calling themselves. Had they not called themselves that, he probably would have never knew what YN was. When I say my son is a kid, he's a kid. He loves to play with Legos, plushies. He still plays with his toys. He rides his bike outside. He likes to play.
Like a normal kid. And she makes a point with that because if you're in the community and you're doing something that your own age, it's age appropriate, you will get roasted. Unless you are into YN stuff, or unless you play sports, if you do kid stuff, you are not allowed to do so. You are not allowed to be a kid in the community. She's speaking facts on that.
We don't listen to rap music. We don't listen to hood music. You can show him any rapper, he wouldn't even know who it is. Like, realistically. So before y'all decide to make it seem like it's my fault that my kid is calling y'all kids out for
get the
being
sippy out of the way.
Check y'all kids, bro. Like, I'm genuinely confused where we're going with it.
All right, so I'm confused as well. I may have been distracted a bit, but yeah. And I'm not trying to blame on the mom, but one, where is the father? Jokes aside, stepdaddy's jokes aside, where's the father? Two, if it walks like a duck, if it talks like a duck, walks like a duck, listen to the accent from this woman. You say you don't listen to hip-hop, rap, and trap music, but the accent I'm getting here might be from otherwise. I'm not saying she's a bad person from it. I'm not saying she's a bad mom from it, but look, if you're going to, and I'm not saying she did this, but if you're going to live that life, chase after those guys, and then when you have a kid, you have an epitome, and then all of a sudden you want to raise your kid like the opposite, then that's just going to go as bad as raising your son like one of these YNs. Especially if you are in the YN country. Because I hate to break it to everyone, but YN supremacy is real. A lot of people talk about white supremacy and all this other kind of stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not even doubting that elements of that exist. But you also have YN supremacy. And that's something that I definitely grew up with. I even had it in parts of my family. And it's to the point where I barely go back to where I was born and raised. I don't call that place home. And it's for reasons like this. YN supremacy is the thing. You have school administrators defending YNs. You have teachers defending YNs. You definitely will have peers defending YNs. And if you are in that kind of environment, if you are not a YN or even try to act like a YN, you are in a heap of trouble. So, I don't know why she is still where she is. And then, let's see, what does YN mean? Keep him innocent. YN means your name. That's a good one. Oh, man. A hit dog will... I don't know about that. What's that all about? Yeah. Oh yeah, hit dogs well. Yeah, daggles. He's talking about daggles. It's a duck. Yeah. Okay, where are you going me exactly? But what is YN? Yeah, we all know what YN is. If you don't know what YN is, it's young ninja, and they do all this, and then well, not this, but they do all this, and they do all this, and you know, half of it's just impress Keisha, impress Keisha. That's all it is. YNs, 90% of them, they are not broke, or if they are broke, they are not that broke to the point where they have to do YN stuff in order to make money and put dinner down on their mama's table. It's basically to impress Keisha and stay within the good graces of his mama in them. Because, hell, some of your mamas, some of these B mamas, if they don't have a YN, they'll disown them quick, or treat him like trash, treat him like an EL. But she triples down on defending her son. And a lot of YN defending Strags, Daggles, and Simps.
I don't know what rock y'all living under, but a YN is not a young black man. A YN is a young hood dude.
Oh.
So a YN could be white, black, Mexican, Asian, Puerto Rican. A YN could be an Indian. It's a young hood dude, a young dude from the hood. That's with it. With all of them activities, you know what I'm talking about?
It.
I'm not talking about the young dudes from the hood that's raised right. We talking about the young dudes from the hood, in the streets, doing the hood. You know what I'm talking about. So please get from under my post talking about, oh, I look at all black boys as young as YNs. No, I look at young hood dudes as YNs. I live in the suburbs.
But yeah, okay, and so she told me she lived in the suburbs, but she still deals with her school dealing with YNs. So that's a problem too. And she may own her house. Who knows? Especially in Arkansas, where it's dirt cheap to own your house. But yeah, other than that, I mean, let's see what the comments said. Yeah, I guess the comments are agreeing with her, and well, you got someone disagrees. Exactly. We all know why. But yeah. But now she's taking the approach of anyone of any race can be a YN. That's some good political diversion and deflection. I'll give her that. She should run for local office. But jokes aside, and anyone who wants to take her Applebee's and help her be a stepdaddy. I know a lot of these guys who are out there. I know you're out there, and we want to check. Let's check out our channel. Let's check out because we got some simps out there. Yeah. We got, yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, yeah. Can she get Applebee's? Can she get Applebee's? Yeah. Yeah. She. If I was a YN swag, and if I had my own kids, I would take her to Applebee's. Yeah, I'd take her to Applebee's if I was a retired YN with some swag. So, yeah. So, with that being said, for all of you who say, you hate black women, this is Snowbunny channel, remember that? Yeah, Snowbunny. Okay, alright, yeah. Yeah, if I was a retired YN, if I was a baby daddy, okay, yeah, she, right my league. Anyway, for all of you out there who are thinking about raising black boys, this is why it's essential to have them in a place where they are accepted. And a lot of people say, oh, I was bullied and I got through it. No, you have not. The mental scars do not leave. And even if you didn't have mental scars, you lost out on years of opportunities to socialize with people who you could have been friends with for life to this very day. And that is what this woman is unintentionally robbing her son the opportunity of. So it is important that you place yourself in an area, whether it's through a home or through an apartment even, where the school system will not have a bunch of YNs, and for that matter, little maggots running around. Yeah, the freaking spawn of these maggots that are rising. Because they're just as bad as well. With their little pranks and their jokes, and we'll talk about them, or particularly the adults, in a bit. But yeah, everyone else out there, always bet on X.